Welcome everybody to Talladega Superspeedway. My name's Josh Hall. This is the SCSRA Morris Customs Truck Series here at Talladega Superspeedway. We're here with the first race of the round of 8, getting ready to kick off our last round of the playoffs before our final event in just 2 weeks' time. As we see Eddie Morris up at the top of the leaderboard, we see him drafting here with the 11 of Brett Merle. Again, just 3 races remain before we crown a champion here tonight this season in the SCSRA Truck Series. We're taking on Talladega this week. We'll move on to the 2-miler Auto Club next week and finalize the season at Phoenix. Let's take a look at our points coming into tonight. See Devin Butchino at the top of the leaderboard, 4 points ahead of Matthew Fritz. Those are those playoff points that he's able to accumulate and get those bonus points throughout the season. Eddie Morris back in 3rd, Blaze Richardson in 4th. And then the cutoff line, of course, we have 2 races before we get the cutoff. Jay Stinson, Matthew Allen, Ryan Gromes, and David Wright. Of course, any of those drivers below the cutoff line could win, and they're into Phoenix. Or we have a couple drivers who might play spoiler here tonight as well. So anything can happen as we have just a few races left to go. So one of those drivers trying to play spoiler and lock themselves into Phoenix, the 84 of Dave Wright. Him and Brett kind of slide down in front of Eddie Morris, trying to use a little bit of that those quick movements now, trying to figure out what they can do later on in the race. Another driver trying to lock themselves in tonight is the 127 of Matthew Allen. Allen just barely below the cutoff line as we see the 9 of Gomes and him pitting, getting some pitting practice here tonight because green flag runs are very common here at Talladega Superspeedway. Other driver trying to sneak themselves into Phoenix with a win would be the rookie, Blaze Richardson. Currently above the cut line by 1 point coming into tonight. We'll see what he's able to do here as we have about a minute left here in practice. Of course, we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, or on Kick. We do appreciate you tuning in and spending your Tuesday night here with us on Intensity. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe, and hit that little notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. So just 25 seconds left in practice. 17 trucks getting ready to take the green flag here at Talladega Superspeedway. Of course, a couple more drivers might sneak in here before it ends. Of course, your playoff drivers... Oh, I need to change that right there because Devin Butchino is not locked in to the next round. There we go. We got that fixed up there, and practice is now complete. And we're getting ready to go qualifying here at Talladega Superspeedway. See who one of our first drivers is to hit the racetrack. It looks like it's going to be the 47 of Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence. Not sure why Eddie's picture is showing up there for Cheeseburger. Let's try this again. There we go. That's the right photo. Don't let Eddie see that. You'd think Cheeseburger was trying to impersonate him here. But Cheeseburger, first driver out onto the racetrack. Devin Butchino also out there trying to get that truck wound up. You'll see most of these drivers are going to run that high lane on their out lap, trying to get that truck wound up as quick as they can to get a good qualifying lap underway. Cheeseburger takes the green flag on his first of 2 laps. They'll bring that truck right down to the bottom of the track, trying to take the shortest way around the track. So once the trucks are wound up, they're going to keep that truck locked down on that yellow line. See Devin Butchino do the same thing, just kind of walking the truck out to that first dotted line there, trying to keep the speed and momentum up as they make their way down into turns 3 and 4. We see Matt Allen doing the same thing. Matt Allen's actually staying up on the high side for his entire first lap. Try to see if he can get a better second lap than first. Cheeseburger comes across the line on his first lap. He's going to run a .56.08. Richard Hurst runs a .56.82. Devin Butchino runs a .56.11. Brett Merle coming down the backstretch towards turns 3 and 4. See what kind of lap Merle's able to put on here. As here comes Merle down to the start-finish line, which you'll notice is at the end of the trial. We'll talk about that in a bit. And Brett Merle is going to jump up to the 2nd position. Here comes Blaze Richardson off of turn number 4 and down through the tri-oval. So the start-finish line is located not in the center of the tri-oval like most racetracks, but down here past the tri-oval, closer to turn number 1, and that leads for some very exciting finishes here. Blaze Richardson goes 5th quickest. Jay Stinson jumps up to 4th. And Ryan Gomes jumps up to the pole. As Cheeseburger's second lap was just a little bit slower. Hooking that yellow line all the way around at turns 3 and 4. And down to the start-finish line. And Richardson is going to stay in that 7th position for now. Riley Gomes in the 9 jumps up into the 6th position on his first lap. Here comes the 34 of Rick Ward. And Ward is going to jump up to the 5th position on his first lap. Sylvain Seguin, he's out there getting ready to take the white flag, coming down the backstretch towards turns 3 and 4. Sylvain running that high side here. And coming down to the stripe to take the white flag. His first lap is going to bump him up into the 12th position. Brian Merle Jr. also out there getting ready to qualify. Down to the stripe, Junior comes, and he's going to jump up into the 14th position. Dave Wright staying in that 14th position currently. Eddie Morris up to second on his lap, and that's going to do it for him. He's going to just run that one single lap. A couple drivers still to qualify. Dave Hartney. Hartney off of turn number 4. Down through the tri-oval towards the start-finish line. And Hartney's lap is going to bump him up into the 9th position. As Dave Wright jumps up to P2. Of course, we've seen a lot of the first lap being the quicker lap. See if D. Wright has anything left in the tank here. And Dave Wright off of turn number 4 down towards the tri-oval here. And Dave Wright's lap is going to be good for... He is going to stay in that second position as his second lap was a little bit quicker, but not enough to bump himself up to the pole. One driver still left to qualify. That is the 41 of Chuck Balance. Comes off of turn number 4. Down towards the start-finish line. And Chuck Balance is going to go up into the 15th position. So that is going to do it for us here in qualifying. So we'll take this moment to, again, thank everybody for joining us here tonight. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcast. Of course, we want to thank our great partners here tonight, including your series sponsor, Morris Customs, for all your iRacing paint needs. Check out Morris Customs on Facebook. You can find the link down below in the description. Of course, I also want to thank Dev Sports Cards for all your... Check Dev Sports Cards out on eBay if you're looking for any last minute or early Christmas gifts that you're looking to get. Check out Dev Sports Cards. Also want to check out Blue Ridge Auto Group for all your new and used Dodge, Chrysler, Jeeps, and Ram needs. Check out BlueRidgeJunior.com. Also, for all your iRacing setups and coaching needs, check out RaceEPI.com. You can find the link down below. For all your Intensity and League merchandise, check out IntensityBroadcasting.com. You also find Atlee Atman Weese's racing gear there as well. And of course, our great partner, over at Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is an established and well-known leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. The patented design makes them incredibly accurate, powerful, and virtually indestructible. The Gamer Plus is a new and upgraded sim racing haptic that reproduces immersive, accurate, and powerful sim racing, flight sim, and gaming effects. Check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out which one's right for you. Visit thebuttkicker.com. As the trucks are lining up here on the front stretch, let's take a look at our starting grid. And on pole tonight is the 55 of Ryan Gomes. Dave Wright will roll off from position number 2. Eddie Morris, the Pied Piper of the SCSRA, roll off from the 3rd spot with Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence to his outside in position number 4. 5th will be Brett Merle with Jay Stinson trying to lock his way into Phoenix in the 6th position. Then Rick Ward and John Lynch back in row number 4. Riley Gomes will roll off from the 9th position in the 9 truck with Dave Hartney in the 43 rolling off from 10th. Devin Butchino rolls off 11th in the 68 machine with Blaze Richardson in the 33 back in 12th. 13th will be Richard Hurst and Matt Allen with Chuck Balance, Brian Merle Jr., and Sylvan Seguin rounding out the field here tonight at Talladega Superspeedway. All 17 trucks getting stacked up here on the backstretch, getting ready to let them loose to see who can lock themselves in to the final round at Phoenix. 67 laps will be the distance tonight. Stage will end on lap number 25. And again, looking at the race info here, you can see that unique shape, that typical D-shaped Superspeedway shape. But you notice that red line, that start-finish line. When the track opened, they wanted to sell more seats down towards turn number 1, so they moved the start-finish line past the tri-oval into that area, and it's lent for some amazing racing throughout the years. And another amazing race is about to happen here as the pace truck has made its way down on the pit road. Ryan Gomes leads them down to the starting zone. And the green flag is in the air, and we are racing here at Talladega Superspeedway. As the field gets up to speed, it will take these drivers a couple laps to get up to speed. These engines are restricted, which means there is a plate that goes over the carburetor that limits the amount of air that makes it to the engine. So it takes these trucks about a lap and a half to really get wound up and up to full speed. Well, we'll be talking about a couple of different things here. If this is your first time watching a super speedway race. Things such as the draft, side drafting. Drivers will be leaning on each other and pushing each other all the way around the track. And we're seeing that right now with Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence all over the 55 of Ryan Gomes, trying to push him back up towards the front. Eddie Morris with a big push on his teammate, Dave Wright, as they come down through the tri-oval for the first time. And you see these trucks get a little squirrely and out of shape as Dave Wright's going to try to block the top lane. 3 wide for the lead as Dave Wright is now stuck in the sucker hole in the middle, but he's got some help coming in the form of the 31 of Jay Stinson. 3 wide up to the front, almost making it 4 wide as Gomes trying to collect Cheeseburger to move himself back up towards the front. Stinson giving a big push to Dave Wright. You see Brett Merle giving Eddie Morris a big shove down the backstretch as they make their way towards turn number 3. Matthew Fritz having some issues. Jumped down on the pit road, not really sure what happened to the Fritz machine, and we'll see if we can see maybe what happened to this driver. And yeah, it doesn't look like not really sure what happened to the, might have lost connection, I'm not sure, but 3 wide racing up at the front here at Talladega. Eddie Morris out in front all by himself, but it is 3 wide racing from behind as we see a little gap there between Merle and the 34 of Rick Ward. That's going to give some energy. Oh, as Morris is going to dive down to the bottom. Looks like he's going to get out of line. And he's going to fall towards the back. Looks like Dave Hartney is doing the same thing. As they are still 3 wide racing, but they're coming up quickly on the lap truck of Matthew Fritz. As now the 31 of Jay Stinson out in front, getting a bonus point for leading. Comes across the line, getting a shove from the 90 of John Lynch. Now John makes a move down to the bottom, and Stinson's going to cover that hole as they come up on the lap truck of Allen. I'm sorry, that's Fritz, the 29 of Fritz. And now we see Dave Wright jumping out of line, and he's going to fall back to the back. So far, clean racing, though, as Fritz is going to be 3 laps down when it's all said and done. And leading out in front is the 31 of Jay Stinson. That's Venom Racing 1, 2, 3 currently, but Brett Merle trying to break up the Venom party as he's going to use a little side draft here and try to get a little run with the 33 of Blaze Richardson giving him a shove. The 55 of Ryan Gomes up here as well. So Gomes started on the outside of the front row, fell back, and now trying to get himself back up towards the front. As the rest of the field's starting to get a little more single file here, minus those 3 trucks up on the high side. Nancy Hickok says, let's go Venom Racing and Spino Racing. Already we have drivers making their way down on the pit road. Oh, one driver having some issues. Brian Merle Jr. looped it coming down on the pit road. Everybody coming down pit road. They know they can't make it to the stage end. So they were coming down early trying to beat the rush. And Brian Merle Jr. has some issues getting down on the pit road. See if we can see what happened to Junior here coming on the pit road. Looks like I might have been a little early here on the pits here, so we'll go back live until we can figure out exactly where that was. See Junior trying to get down onto pit road, just a little too much speed, locks up the rear brakes, and that truck goes right around. So tough break for Junior. He's going to lose a ton of time. Fortunately, there is a stage break on lap number 25, so he should be able to catch back up to the field then. But right now, everybody just kind of riding in a line. And now Jay Stinson's going to jump up the high side, and he's going to fall back. That's probably because John Lynch was getting a little warm. And now those 3 drivers are going to jump up to the high side to get back in line. And that's going to give Matt Allen a little bit of a run here with Cheeseburger out in front. Dave Hartney's going to go with that team. Now Hartney's going to take the run. He's going to try to go to the high side. A little side draft there. Pulls the 31 backwards, and Hartney's going to move up into the 3rd spot. And he wants more. Now Blaze Richardson, and that is Ryan Gomes up on the high side, trying to make something happen. Chuck Balance up there as well, as they are catching. That is the green truck of Brian Merle Jr. just out in front of the field. So it does look as if Junior is going to lose a lap here. as John Lynch continues to lead with a big push from Richard Hurst. Minus those 3 trucks on the outside, that's David Hartney, Blaze Richardson, and Ryan Gomes. Everybody else single file down on that low side as the field makes their way around the lap truck of Brian Merle Jr. is going to be able to catch the draft here, and you can see just how much faster this field is in the draft. Again, if this is your first time watching a super speedway race, 2 trucks are going to run faster than 1, and a whole field of trucks is going to run faster than anything else. That front truck pushes all the air out of the way, and the drivers behind are able to push right on that back bumper, and that moves the entire field forward. Of course, you can see a little bit of a side draft, which is what Hartney's trying to pull on right now. As the trucks go around the track, the air makes a wake like you would see in water. Well, if you can get right alongside the truck next to you and dump that wake onto that big spoiler that's on the back of the truck, it'll slow that truck down. It'll make it seem like you're going faster, and that's why David Hartney is able to get around and pull Blaze Richardson around with him and now take over the lead here on lap number 10. So now Gomes and Balance trying to work that high lanes by themselves, but they need at least one more truck as Blaze Richardson now going to jump up to the high side. Richardson trying to get the win here tonight, lock himself in the Phoenix. He's got some help in the form of his teammate and Ryan Gomes, pushing him down the backstretch towards turn number 3. Again, pretty much single file racing. It's going to be calm this part of the race. Everybody's kind of just feeling what their trucks are going to do, how they race around each other, who they can trust, who they can push, who they work best with. Because you can't win this race on your own. You're going to need a little bit of help. Right now we're seeing Dave Hartney get all the help from behind from the 90 of John Lynch, but Blaze Richardson trying to make that high lane work. With the big push from the 55 of Ryan Gomes. And you can see just how much, when we zoom in close here, you can see just how much these trucks bounce around here in the draft. You see Dave Hartney, it looks like he's coming down on the pit road this time. He's got Matt Allen coming with him as well. So that's going to give the lead of the race back to the 90 of John Lynch. But oh, look now, here comes the 55 of Gomes and Blaze Richardson, 3 wide into turn number 1. And another driver who knows how to win here at the Super Speedway. That's the 47 of Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence. His only SCSRA win came here at Talladega. And he's looking to get another one here tonight. Of course, Brett Merle back here, running behind Cheeseburger. Don't count him out as well. He already told me before the race that he wanted to play spoiler here tonight. See him taking his time back here in the 8th position. Running behind Cheeseburger and just trying to take it easy, trying to save the truck for the end of the race. Although, as we come to lap number 15, that's just 10 laps before the end of the stage. I imagine about lap 20, we're really going to see things start to ramp up and get intense here. As now Ryan Gomes takes the lead here, and he's going to throw a little bit of block as the entire Venom team now making their way down on the pit road. So John Lynch, Richard Hurst, Jay Stinson, Blaze Richardson all down on the pit road. That's going to leave Ryan Gomes, Chuck Balance, Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence, Brett Merle, Riley Gomes, and Rick Ward still out on the racetrack, left the pit. Of course, these boys do want to come down and pit as quickly as they can, because running in line like the Neon boys are doing right now is going to be a lot faster than running by yourselves, especially trying to get back into a group. So you see these three drivers have passed the drivers that are just coming out of pit road, and you see the gap. Those gaps on the racetrack are not what you want to have, as those three Neon boys are definitely the class of the field at the moment. Now more drivers on pit road. Riley Gomes, Ryan Gomes, and Chuck Balance on pit road. That's going to give the lead to Cheeseburger, who's going to lead a lap here, get a bonus point. Brian Merrill Jr. trying to get his lap back here. He's going to get one of his laps back. Or no, he's only one lap down, so he's going to get that lap back now. That's also a smart move by Cheeseburger, because not just is he letting this driver get a lap back, but he's putting a truck in front of him, which means that now Junior's pushing more air than Cheeseburger is. And if I was Cheeseburger here, I'd even let this 29 truck by. That way they can try to save a little bit more fuel by being pulled around by these other trucks. But the important part is, what is the interval now? As the Neon boys are now 21 seconds behind our lead group. And you see that stair step, just how much closer they're getting lap after lap. Like Chuck Balance has some issues on pit road as well. So I believe, talking with the drivers before the race, your pit window was somewhere between laps 18, or your fuel run was somewhere between laps 18 and 21. So that's why we saw the Neon boys come down on lap number 5, because I knew they'd be able to make it to the end. But I don't think Cheeseburger and Brett here have saved enough fuel to make it to the end, so I imagine they're going to have to make their way down on the pit road. However, last time by, they ran a 54.9, and the Neon boys ran a 51.9, so these guys have dropped 3 seconds a lap trying to save enough fuel to make it to the end. At the same time, Eddie Morris running full bore, running about 20 miles an hour faster. They've only gained 5 seconds since the last time we showed the interval there. So these drivers trying to steal some stage points here tonight. Because the less stage points the playoff drivers can get, they might be able to help some of their teammates or some other drivers get into the playoffs. Or I should say into the final round at Phoenix. As they come down through turns 3 and 4, we're going to see 5 laps to go when they cross the line in the stage. And again, that interval continues to shrink. There's your difference in speed right now. You can see they're gaining almost a second a lap. You'll see the Neon boys making their way. There's the interval between Rick Ward and Eddie Morris, now down to 8 seconds. And again, they're closing fast. They are absolutely flying, the Neon drivers. Give you an idea where the field is. Here comes Rick Ward across the line. And now Eddie Morris across the line. That is what 6.5 seconds looks like. And that interval is shrinking each lap. They're running almost 3 seconds a lap quicker, so unless these boys have saved enough for this final lap here, the Neon boys are going to catch this front group pretty quickly. As now the interval is within 3 seconds. These boys are about to catch this group's draft. Once you're about 1.5 seconds behind the drivers in front of you, that's when the draft starts to really be noticeable. And that's about where Eddie Morris is now. They just hit the 2-second mark, and these speeds are about to pick up. And we can see that by doing... You see the speeds, 187, 188, 189, 190. These boys are going to be catching almost 200 miles an hour as they catch the group in front. And look at the difference in speed right here. As Eddie Morris jumps up to the high side. And now the rest of the field is going to make their way down on the pit road. And that's going to give the lead to Eddie Morris and the Neon team. Of course, that put Brian Merle Jr. back a lap down, but he is in the lucky dog position. And now Junior trying to get his lap back. He is going to get his lap back, so looks like Eddie is going to allow Junior to get back onto the lead lap. That's going to put Fritz up into the lucky dog position as the field comes down across the stripe. To start the final lap of the stage. As the field makes their way towards turn number 3. Again, Brian Merrill Jr. going to get his lap back here as Eddie Morris is going to push him down across the tri-oval and down to the stripe. And Eddie Morris is going to be your stage winner here at Talladega Superspeedway as Devin Butchino tries to mount a little bit of a battle up on the high side. Caution is out for the stage, and your winner, the 8 of Eddie Morris. Field's going to make their way all the way around the racetrack. And something happened to Blaze Richardson here, coming down to the yellow, and oh, Blaze got turned. So you can see it from a different view here as see Blaze Richardson pushing on David Hartney. And then I think that's the 127 comes up and gives a shove here. Now Blaze just got a little to the side of the 43. That got him out of shape. And then the 127 of Allen comes over. Blaze gets turned up into, I believe that was Lynch. Comes down back across this track right into the side of Allen. So a tough break for Blaze Richardson here. So he's going to have to come down pit road and get that damage fixed up. We'll quickly get a word in with our stage winner.
Bye, episode.
Oh, Eddie, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, brother. How's it going?
Sorry, I didn't mean to pull you in the middle of your strategy there, but
man, you're good.
Man, what a stage. You guys got that, had that figured out. I know Junior lost to coming on the pit road, but the Neon Boys really had that figured out there.
Oh, yeah, man. It was definitely a good call. Really good strategy. Knew we weren't going to be able to make it to the stage, you know, with the fuel that we had. So we decided to pit a little early, try to stick together, and just make our way up to the front, because there wasn't no way anybody's going to, you know, try to save that much. And if they do, I don't think they're going to make it. So that was kind of the call on that.
Get yourself in your pit stall there, but man, great job on the stage win. Good luck the rest of the way out. It looks like a pretty stout field out there tonight.
Oh yeah, man, it's been pretty fun. Looking to bring this home, pretty good finish spot here, and put Dev's sports cards in victory lane here at Talladega on the 8 machine. So
awesome, man. I thought you guys had a little bit more time before pitting, so that's why I pulled you down. I apologize for that. But,
oh, you're good, man.
It looks like you still came out with the, well, Rick Ward's going to be out in front of you, but you came off of pit road first, so it really didn't hurt you any. So good luck the rest of the race out, and we'll hopefully talk to you at the end.
Sounds good, brother. Appreciate it.
Have a great night.
You too.
So that was your stage winner, Eddie Morris. Again, Brian Merrill Jr. was able to get out and back onto the lead lap. It looks like, I'm not sure who else was able to gain a lap there and get back onto the lead lap. However, you've got Rick Ward out in front now in that 34 machine. Did not pit under that caution. Also, you see Sylvain out in front, did not pit as well. So Sylvain's going to get a lap back, and waved around to be just 1 lap down. So we're getting ready to re-rack them, restack them, and refire them here tonight. See where everybody takes the starting lines here, as we still see Sylvan again waved around the pace truck here. Rick Ward's going to take the inside. We'll put Eddie Morris on the high side. Dave Wright and Devin Butchno row number 2. So no matter which way you slice it, Eddie was going to have a teammate behind him. So row 1 we'll have Rick Ward, Eddie Morris. Row 2, Dave Wright and Devin Butchino. Row number 3 will be Jay Stinson and Dave Hartney. Row number 4 will be Richard Hurst and Blaze Richardson, and then Brett Merle and Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence back in row number 5. So we'll have less than 40 laps to go here when we retake the green flag. Do something a little different here. We're going to ride along with Devin Butchino here on this restart. Give you a bird's eye view of what it's like to restart here at Talladega Superspeedway. As they approach the Geico restart zone. Green flag's back in the air, and we are racing. See Devin right there on the back bumper giving a big shove to Eddie Morris as he's trying to clear Rick Ward, and he's going to bring along the 31 of Jay Stinson. Take a look for further back in the pack. We'll ride along here with Jono Lynch. You see, just what I mean by when you're in the draft, you get pulled up by the car in front of you. You can actually big check up in front as they make their way down into turn number 3. Now he's going to move up to the high side. You already see the jostling for position here. Brett Merle jumping up to that middle lane. We see Chuck Balance up on the high side. We see the 127 of Matt Allen right there. Also as they're 3 wide as John Lynch gets around the 41 of Balance. See if he can get another run here and take it anywheres. He's also got a little bit of help from behind now. Shows you just how much these trucks really move around here in the draft. If you're curious how close these drivers get to each other, well, here's a look off the back bumper of Dave Hartney as he's got a big shove here from Dave Wright, and there's the contact, the push forward. And you can see why these trucks overheat as quickly as they do. You see that grill mesh down at the bottom of the bumper. That's the only air that these trucks get. So the more that you see Dave Wright get tucked up underneath that back bumper, the less air getting to the motor, and that can cause these trucks to overheat and get hot really quickly. Then you'll see them getting out of line and having to fall to the back to try to cool those motors down. And so far, Eddie Morris picking up where he left off out in front, but he's got Dave Hartney battling him door to door, side by side, down across the stripe, and Hartney's going to lead that lap. by probably 1/4 of an inch. As Eddie Morris fights back on the high side, and Dave Wright up on the high side trying to get himself a win here tonight as well. Cheeseburger trying to spoil along with Brett Merle. We've got playoff drivers mixed with non-playoff drivers up at the front, and everybody wants to get the win. As we see one driver getting out of line, that was O'Lynch, had to lift and get out of line to keep from running into the back of, I believe that was Brett Merle, and that allows Brian Merle Jr. to get tucked up beneath his or behind his brother. And we'll see what those two can do with each other as we see O'Lynch and the 21 of Richard Hurst up on the high side. Now Cheeseburger is going to dive up to the high side as well. And they're going to be 3 wide as they come through turn number 1. Now David Hartney's going to be left all alone in that middle lane. He's going to be in that sucker hole, and he's going to fall backwards. Oh, as Chuck Balance gets out of line, he's down on the apron. And nobody's going with Hartney as he's stuck in the middle now. It looks like O'Lynch and Hurst are going to dive down to that middle lane, and they're going to try to use Hartney as a push forward. And we see Michael Cheeseburger, Lawrence, and Matt Allen stuck up on that high side. Sorry, that's not Matt Allen, it's Matthew Fritz, who is a couple laps down. Still being scored 2 laps down. But out there trying to get as many points as he can, because anything can happen. A big wreck here, and he could be right back into the points battle. As we almost saw one right there as Richard Hurst was just sideways. That's an uncomfortable feeling as a driver being sideways at 200 miles an hour. You see that 21 giving that big shove to the 90 of Lynch, trying to get him back out in front. So we are 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, 5 rows back right now. And where I thought this was going to be a little bit more of a single file run as everybody kind of got in line, got through the pit stop, and ran to the end. Now we're starting to see the racing start to pick up, as we've seen 2 and 3 wide racing since the drop of the green flag in the second stage. I see the 21 of Hurst kind of tucking out of line there. He wasn't trying to make a move there. He's just trying to tuck out, get a little bit of air to the nose there, try to cool that motor off. So he doesn't want to get in a position where the motor blows up on that truck, because that can cause a big mess here. As we ride along with Richard Hurst. Oh, almost some contact there between the 21 and Eddie Morris, and that's going to allow Lynch to get out in front, and Hurst is going to slide down off the nose of Eddie Morris. Eddie did not like that. He's going to shove the 21 and say, hey, that was a little closer than it should have been. Eddie not too happy with that move right there. That's going to put O'Lynch up in front. Yeah, he's going to try to stay right on that back bumper. He doesn't want to get into the 21. You can't push the truck pushing. That will get that middle truck all sorts of out of shape. Eddie is going to stay right there on that back bumper, and kind of gives a little shove to the 21, almost shoves him up the track. Here comes Dave Hartney, though, working that high side again. Now Eddie's going to jump up in front of Hartney. He's going to try to take that run He's also got his two teammates, Dave Wright and Devin Butchino, behind as well. So 4 trucks working their way around too, and Eddie Moore is going to put himself back into the lead. He's going to pull that entire top lane around with him. So now it's Neon plus Dave Hartney up in that top lane. Now Dave Wright's going to dive down to the bottom of his teammate Devin Butchino, and he's going to try to make a run here towards the lead. And he's going to throw the block on his teammate, retake the lead as here comes David Hartney with the run up on the high side with a push from Devin Butchino. Oh, one truck down slow on the bottom of the track. That was Sylvan Seguin staying out of the way. As we see the field snake down the backstretch towards turn number 3. And now Dave Hartney is going to get out in front. He's going to lead the race, but now he's going to fall back as Devin Butchino takes over the lead. So as quickly as Hartney got the lead, it was taken away as Devin Butchino comes down the front stretch, down through the tri-oval to lead lap number 41. And we are quickly approaching 25 laps to go. Of course, as we know, these drivers are going to be coming down pit road soon. They were last on pit road on lap number 27. And we know the fuel window is right around, I think it's 23 to 24 laps, so I expect the field to start pitting maybe in the next lap or two. Possibly this lap we might see a couple drivers come down pit road. As now the couple of the Venom drivers up on the high side. We see Richard Hurst and Jay Stinson up on the high side. As Owen Lynch has fallen back to the 10th position. And everybody stays out on the racetrack this time, so we'll see at least another lap before people start coming down pit road. And if the entire field all pits together, that would be wild. Wouldn't be the first time we've seen it here in the SCSRA. Probably won't be the last. Now Richard Hurst is just out in front of Devin Butchino by a nose going down into turn number 3. He's got Jay Stinson pushing on him, but not clear, so not able to move down in front of Butchino. Again, I imagine might see a couple trucks peel off this time for pit road. We'll see as they come down, and looks like everybody passes pit road yet again. Hurst led that lap by just about a half a wheel. As Devin Butchino is trying to hold on to that top spot with a big push from Eddie Morris. Down into turns 3 and 4. Does anybody come down pit road this time, or do they all stay out? Everybody stays out yet again. I guess my math was a little off as we have 23 laps to go. Pit window would be open within the next lap or two, so they are trying to stretch it as far as they can. Maybe we'll see another lap or two before drivers start making their way down towards pit road. As we got 3 wide racing now, we see the 29 of Fritz up on the high side. He's getting a shove from the 90. Fritz is trying to get one of his laps back the hard way here. Now the other Venom drivers, Hurst and Stinson, jumping up to the high side. Now they've got more help up on that high side. We might see some more energy out of that third lane or second lane. We take a look again. The last time they were on pit road. "19 laps since they were last on pit road. A couple of those laps were under caution though, so that's going to save a little bit of fuel as well. So might have been a little wrong about when drivers are going to start making their way down pit road. I imagine, I can guarantee though, within the next 3 to 5 laps, we'll see everybody coming down onto pit road. Because it looks like everybody's starting to single file now, get in line. Anytime you see the field getting single file, that usually tells me the drivers are getting ready to come down onto pit road. But yet again, the entire field passes down pit road. And when they cross the line this time, we'll have just 20 laps to go. Richard Hurst just barely leading that lap over Devin Butchino. Of course, the driver who's really in the catbird seat right now is the driver of the number 8 machine. You wouldn't think it, but he is in the prime location. That is the place where I like to be when I run super speedways, because that driver in that second position on the bottom line can kind of control the race. He can push the leader out in front. He can let the top lane get a little bit of a run. So that driver's got the entire control of the race, and you can see exactly what he's doing, trying to control when Devin's out in front, when that top lane starts to get a run. But as you can see, the entire field getting ready, trying to get single file, getting ready for pit stops, which will be the final pit stop of the race. So far, just 1 caution for the stage, no cautions for incident. There we go. Everybody's now getting single file. See Richard Hurst now trying to tuck in line. There you have it. The entire field single file. We could see one of our favorite things in the SCSRA, the entire field making their way down on the pit road at once. And that's what we're going to see, the entire field coming down onto pit road. And everybody makes it down on the pit road cleanly. What an incredible sight to see. And now it's going to be who has the best pit stop and who's able to get back out on the track. Make sure nobody overshoots their pit stalls. As we see the 55 did overshoot his pit stall. He's going to have to back it up. He's going to lose a ton of time because of that. Dave Hartney down and away. And now we're seeing the entire field making their way back out onto the racetrack. Of course, they all have to stay down below the yellow line until they get to the cone on the backstretch. And Dave Hartney out in front by a lot here, and that is not where you want to be. Because being by yourself, he's going to get swallowed up by these drivers as they get up to speed and in line. Though it looks like Hartney might have a little bit of help here in front of him with Sylvan. But I see the race for the lead picking up right here as Devin Bucciano and Eddie Morris are lined up nose to tail, and they are connected and they are moving. Now Dave Wright's going to jump up in front of Eddie. He's going to throw a big block on Eddie. Try to use Eddie's momentum to push him forward. And now you can see just what being lined up can do, as those three trucks are going to work around the high side of those slower trucks that were not quite lined up yet. Unfortunately, the Venom drivers all spread out right now. Jono Lynch is about 2.5 seconds ahead of Jay Stinson, who's about 2 seconds ahead of Richard Hurst. Although Hurst has some help in the form of the 55 of Ryan Gomes. And he's got Riley Gomes behind as well, so they should be able to hook up pretty quickly here. You see Stinson going to get passed by this group here, but no, his teammates are going to tuck in line here. But they've got a long way to go with just 16 laps to the finish. And put Dave Wright out in front. So Dave Wright out in front of Eddie Morris, Devin Bucciano, David Hartney. See, Nancy saying, impressed with all these drivers. Good job, everyone. And yeah, they are putting on the show here tonight, and clean. And the most impressive part was the entire field coming down pit road cleanly. Well, the group number 2 is now starting to catch this front group, and we've got a bigger pack forming. As Eddie Morris tucks out of line, he's going to fall back here. Not sure what's happening to Morris, but he's fallen all the way to the rear. As David Hartney and Brett Merle trying to play spoiler here, working up on the high side. Now we've got 2x2x2, 3 rows back. Dave Hartney up on the high side, getting a shove from Brett Merle, and his teammate Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence up on the high side. With coming to 13 laps to go. While these boys are running side by side, you've got your third group back here, led by Jono Lynch. That's 6.5 seconds back from the rest of the field, but they are slowly gaining on the group in front of them. However, I don't think there's going to be enough time for them to catch up unless something catastrophic was to happen up here at the front. So Dave Hartney now still leading that high lane, but Dave Wright out in front. It's the Dave and Dave show as they make their way around the 127 of Matt Allen to put him a lap down. And going into next week at Auto Club, looks like the two Matts, Matt Allen and Matthew Fritz, are both going to be in must-win situations if they're going to move on to the final race at Phoenix. But up front, we've got a couple drivers looking for their first win of their career. Both Dave Wright and Dave Hartney up at the front. Coming down to the stripe, we have just 11 laps to go. What's Eddie doing? Hanging out in the back right now. Is he just trying to play dead back there? Play possum? Not really show his full hand yet. Did he maybe see something he didn't like and wanted to fall back in case something was to happen? Maybe his temperatures were just a little too hot up front. He had to fall back and cool off, but we're going to be coming to 10 laps to go when we cross the stripe next time, and Eddie Morse is going to have to put something together if he's going to try to get his win here tonight at Talladega. Still up front, though, Dave and Dave side by side through turns 3 and 4. Down into the tri-oval. And this is why that start-finish line is where it is, as Dave Hartney now is out in front. He was clear of Dave Wright. He still is clear. Is he going to tuck down? No, he's going to stay up in that high lane with Brett Merle. As now Eddie Morris and Junior are moving up to the high lane. Now can Junior make something happen here? Another driver looking for their first win. Brett Merle jumping up to the high side in front of his brother. That's going to make Eddie have to lift here. Now we're 3 wide. And Dave Hartney's fallen back, losing all his drafting help in that second row. You see just how much slower these two drivers run by themselves as opposed to the rest of the field. That is all lined up now. Blaze Richardson trying to make it 3 wide. Almost makes some contact with David Hartney. Hartney trying to get back towards the front with a push from Cheeseburger. Here comes Brett Merle and Brian Merle Jr. up on the high side. It's going to leave Blaze in that sucker hole in the middle all by himself with no help. Eddie Morris has made his way back down to the bottom behind the 127 of Matt Allen. Again, Matt is a lap down, running in the 15th position. You see just how much separation these two lines are getting. That's to allow for these drivers not to side draft off each other. Again, if you get right alongside, you could dump the air coming off your truck right in that spoiler and slow that truck down. As you see, Eddie Morris has now made his way back up into the 3rd position. And here comes David Hartney back up on the high side with Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence. 8 laps to go as they cross the stripe. Meanwhile, this second group back here has cut into the front group, but only about a second in the last few laps. So unless a caution comes out, this group is not going to be able to catch up. But you can see, as much as these drivers are jockeying for position right now, caution flag is always in the hand of the starter. Here at Talladega, Barney always has that caution flag in his hand ready to wave just in case. But right now, David Wright out in front, getting a push from his teammate. Coming up on the lap truck, that is Rick Ward that the field's going to be going by this time. Rick going to stay up high and out of the way. And now it's 5 seconds back to the second group. As the field comes off of turn number 2 and Eddie Morris goes up the wall, you can see that second group still in line. And you see this mess of trucks up here at the front. Nobody's staying in line. That's exactly what this second group wants to see. As Eddie Morris has gone up to the high lane trying to make something happen. Dave Hartney with a push here from Cheeseburger trying to get up to the front. Dave Wright still down on the bottom. Devin giving a big shove here down the tri-oval. Eddie Morris made it 3 wide through the tri-oval as we have 6 laps to go here at Talladega. Who is going to punch their ticket to Phoenix here tonight, or who's going to play spoiler? Three drivers in the middle. Oh, David Hardy gets turned. He's down to the inside lane, hard into the inside wall. No caution, though, as he's able to get going, but unfortunately for Dave Hartney, gets turned and loses it. He is out of the race. Now your spoilers are Cheeseburger and Brett Merle, as they're sitting in the middle there, trying to side draft off Devin and Dave. Just 5 laps to go. Meanwhile, that second group has cut the interval down to 4 seconds with 5 laps to go, and they're coming about a second a lap quicker. That means that there is a chance that they catch up. Because we see how much these drivers are running 3 wide, checking up, bouncing up off each other. There is the delta from Brian Merle Jr. back to Stinson. It is just over 3 seconds with 4 laps to go. As the leaders are catching up to a lap truck. That's Sylvain staying down on the apron, letting these drivers race it out. They are still 3 wide. Dave Wright still out in front. Cheeseburger in the middle. Eddie Morris up on the high side. Getting a push from Blaze Richardson. And look at that. Under 2 seconds, that third pack. This is about to get wild here with 3 laps to go. Matthew Fritz pulling this train behind him along. And as tight as they're running, as single file as they're running, you can see they are catching the group in front. Do they have enough time? That's the question. A big move from Brett Merle up to the high lane. Eddie Morris tries to make a move to the middle. 3 wide still for the second position. Dave Wright out in front all by himself. Devin Buccino staying on that back bumper, that 84. As they make their way off of turn number 4 down the short chute to the tri-oval. Now Brian Merle Jr. up into the mix here, running in the 3rd position. He's trying to get a win here tonight. Get his first win of his SCSRA career. Pulled up in front of Cheeseburger. Now he's going to try to get the pull. Meanwhile, speed of pull. Jay Stinson is within 2 seconds. That pull, that draft is going to come into play. This second group is going to catch the leaders. As the leaders come off a turn at number 4, Brian Merle Jr. gets turned around. Cheeseburger into the wall as well. Caution, caution is out. Caution on the racetrack. And this is going to change everything. This is also going to bring out our first Wreckage Rewind of the night. As we take a look to see what happened to Brian Merle Jr. running up on that high side. And it looks like just a bad push from Cheeseburger gets up into the side of the bumper there, turns both Merles around. You see Junior and Brett get turned around, and see Junior come all the way back across the track and hit Gomes before hitting the brakes. Well, this is not what anybody wanted to see, because that was turning out to be an amazing finish, and that was going to be a wild finish there at the end. As Dave Wright's going to catch up to the pace truck here. So that's going to set us up a green-white checker here at Talladega. And Dave Wright making his way down onto pit road. Couple drivers coming down to pit. I think fuel might have been a little close for the... Oh, look at the damage there on the 47 of Cheeseburger. We know that he's coming down pit road along with Brett Merle, getting some damage there as well, and heavy damage to the right front of Cheeseburger. Fortunately, he's going to be able to get that damage fixed up right here. You'll see that fender magically pop back into place. A few drivers coming down pit road, so but Dave Wright pitting from the lead. I think being out in front might have hurt his chances here. As everybody behind him would have had a lot more fuel. Again, this is going to set up a green-white checker and a wild finish at that. Pardon me while I catch my breath. So we're going to reline them, re-rack them, restack them, and get ready to refire them here. Devin Butchino and Blaze Richardson will be in row number 1, both playoff drivers, trying to move themselves to Phoenix. Row 2, we'll see Eddie Morris and Jay Stinson, another set of playoff drivers. Richard Hurst and David Wright will be in row number 3. So D. Wright coming down pit road really didn't hurt him too much. Going to restart in the 6th position, but not where you want to be when you're trying to get a win here to lock yourself into Phoenix. Row 4, Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence and Brett Merle, and then John Lynch and Riley Gomes back in row number 5. Brian Merle Jr. will restart from 11th, and then the other drivers just came down pit road, so. But the important part is the Venom drivers will be lining up 4th, 5th, and 9th. See if they can get hooked up and work together to get Jay Stinson locked in to Phoenix here tonight. Or if somebody's going to try and play spoiler here. Again, just like in real life, Talladega lends itself to some wild finishes here on iRacing as well. So we're going to see just that as we get ourselves a green-white checker finish. So here we go. Lights are off on the pace truck. We're getting ready to go green, white checker here. The fans are on their feet here at the track. The fans are on their feet watching at home. As Devin Butchno gets ready to lead them down to the Geico restart zone, which again is down in the middle of the tri-oval. So you see the pace truck pull off, and it's going to be a long way that these drivers have to make their way down to the Geico restart zone. It feels like an eternity when you're in the truck. Well, you'll see the Geico sign down at the bottom of the racetrack. That's where these drivers can take off. There we go. Green flags in the air. We're back racing. Devin Butchno, Eddie Morris, great jump on that inside lane. Field's a bit spread out though, and this is exactly what those drivers in the middle want to see, as we could see some huge runs here as Dave Wright's already trying to move himself up to the third lane. Now he's going to tuck in behind Jay Stinson as the field makes their way off of turn number 2. And Blaze Richardson getting the shove out in front, trying to get the win to lock himself in the Phoenix here. But Devin Butchno trying to deny him as they go down into turn number 3. Eddie Morris right there behind his team as well. Eddie, he wants to get a win here. This is his favorite track. Gives the big shove down through the tri-oval, coming to the white flag. 1 lap to go here at Talladega. And they are 3 wide bouncing, a little contact there between teammates. Hurst shoves Stinson up the track. That's going to allow Devin Butchno to get out. Oh, Brent Merle gets turned up and over the front of Stinson. They're still wrecking behind. No caution, though, as we are on the final lap. That's going to break up the rest of the field. Dave Wright's going to jump up to the high side with a push from Brian Merle Jr. as they come through turns 3 and 4. Neon first, second, third, and fourth. Who's going to get the win here? Dave Wright up on the high side, getting the push from Junior down to the tri-oval. Who's it going to be? Big shove here for Junior as they come down through the tri-oval. Now Junior's going to look up to the high side. It's going to allow Devin to get down to the inside as they come down across it. Dave gets turned. Devin Butchno's going to get the win. Excuse me. Eddie Morris comes home second. Blaze Richardson comes home third. Brian Merle Jr. and Richard Hurst, your top 5. Dave Wright, unfortunately, gets turned right at the start-finish line. And his chances of getting his first win go up in smoke as Devin Butchno comes home with the victory here tonight. Just wow. I really don't have anything else to say, but wow. As Devin Butchno makes his way up to the start-finish line. Our top 3 are going to get lined up here for their traditional picture before the winner celebrates here. As Blaze Richardson just goes blowing by the start-finish line there. Now we'll see Devin celebrate his victory here as Eddie peels off here. And just like last round, Devin secures his spot in the next round. We know his celebration is always going to be the Polish victory lap here. As I say that, he goes down through the grass and starts celebrating Earnhardt style in the grass here in the tri-oval. as Devin Butchino gets the win and locks himself a spot at Phoenix. Let's take a look at your results. Again, Devin Butchino getting the win. Eddie Morris second. Blaze Richardson, Richard Hurst, and Brian Mel Jr. in your top 5. Dave Wright comes home 6th. John Lynch in 7th. Rick Ward, Michael Cheeseborough Lawrence, Ryan Gomes, your top 10. Riley Gomes in 11th. Jay Stinson 12th. Brett Merle, Matt Allen, Matthew Fritz, your top 15. Then Sylvan Seguin, Dave Hartney, Chuck Balance round out the rest of the field as Devin Butchino takes his Polish victory lap here. Let's take a look at this final lap because there was a lot to unpack. We saw the incident here. So Brett Merle just comes up the track a little bit, up in the Blaze Richardson, comes back across track, up over Jay Stinson, over Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence goes right underneath the 11, and then Gomes gets turned, comes up into Stinson and Cheeseburger as well. And then coming to the checkered flag, we saw the incident with Dave Wright and Brian Merle Jr. just trying to get a good shove here to get the 48, his victory, his first victory of his career. And it looks like Junior made a move up to the high side with Blaze Richardson. Richardson got into the 13, got him a little loose. He came down and just hit Dave in the wrong spot. You see him hit right there on the right side of the bumper. That turns that 84 hard into the outside wall. And a tough break here for all those involved. That's how Devin Butchino was able to hold on for the win here, and we'll see one more time. Just a bit of some bad bumping there, and that sends Dave Wright hard into the outside wall. Brian Merle Jr. as well. Blaze Richardson actually gets turned around here and comes across the stripe sideways. What a finish. Let's get ready to talk to our top 3. Of course, we got to get our camera set here so we can talk properly. We'll start with our third place finisher, Blaze Richardson. Blaze, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Josh.
Man, what a wild finish there. A lot of contact there at the end. Just a lot of pushing. That's what happened at Talladega. Walk us through that last lap if you could.
Yeah, so I restarted on that last restart second. Didn't get the greatest jump. Fell back to around 4th to 5th. And then just decided that I was going to ride back there for the final 10 laps. And then final couple laps, noticed that all the Neon boys were up top 4. But I knew it was just going to be a hard time getting through there. And then coming to the finish, I don't really know what happened. I haven't looked at the replay yet, but I think I tried going to the outside of Junior while he went to the outside of D-Right, and then it just sent both of them up to the outside wall, and then it clipped me, but I still came across the line sideways third, so I'll take it.
Yeah, what a way to finish coming across the line sideways like that. Talk about the rest of your race, though. It seemed like a lot of strategy played out there, a little bit of sportsmanship, trying to get themselves back to the front. Some people trying to save fuel. What was the overall strategy there tonight for you?
Yeah, so it was pretty much just find whoever else goes down pit road around the same time as us and just try to stick with them. We end up going down pit road with the Venom guys both of the times, and that worked out for me. So, yeah, thanks to the Venom guys for deciding when to go on pit road so I can follow them.
Speaking about that last pit stop, it seemed like the entire field, or what did it seem like? It was the entire field came down pit road at the same time. That was kind of wild. What was your view of that?
Yeah, I just figured everybody would want to come down, just top off on field, just because you don't know how many green white checkers we'd get. I figured we'd get more than the one that we had. Glad we kept it all clean on the white. But yeah, just crazy racing. That's what you get at Talladega.
Well, again, great job coming home on the podium here tonight. Top 3. That's going to be a good points night for you. Trying to lock yourself into Phoenix next week. Before we let you go, anyone thank any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank all my sponsors, friends and family that come in to watch the streams, support me. You for putting on the broadcast, Devin, all the admins for throwing up these sessions, just having a blast.
Well, awesome, man. Well, again, thank you for the kind words, and good luck next week at Auto Club, and trying to lock yourself into the round of 4 at Phoenix.
Thank you. Take it easy, man.
Have a great night. As your third place finisher, Blaze Richardson. Let's talk to our second place finisher, Eddie Morris. Eddie, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Hey, brother, how's it going?
Man, what a wild race here tonight. I know you were kind of in the middle of it there at the end. Talk us through that last lap and what was you saw from your perspective there.
I don't know if my language would be allowed on this channel if I was to tell you my words on getting through that last lap. It was kind of sketchy. It was fun. I think I may have been 3 wide coming to the white, and I was kind of on the apron, and I was hoping that would clear up, and I don't know what happened, but it cleared up, and I was stuck to Dev's bumper, and I seen D Wright and them coming on the outside, and man, I hate it for D Wright, man. That was definitely his race. He had that one won a couple times. Man, that sucks for him. But yeah, dude, it was a pretty great race. The strategy came together. We had the opportunity to put 4 neon cars on the top 4. That's always a good thing. That last lap though, man, that was nuts. Even leading up to it was nuts.
Yeah, the whole race, especially, I kind of figured things would settle in, and then all of a sudden you guys were 3 wide at the beginning of the second stage, and the entire field coming down on the pit road. That was kind of wild. When you see that on the replay, that was wild to see as well. But strategy wise, it seemed like you guys had the strategy for the first stage, and we're working to work there at the end. Was that kind of the whole thing, just to keep the team up in the top there and try to get somebody locked into Phoenix next week?
That was the plan, man. But like that top side really had no speed at all. Whenever Dev and D Wright were down on the bottom, I told Junior, I was like, man, if we're gonna get up there, our only way is to try that third lane, and we went up there, and there wasn't anything there. And then I figured at that point, we're marred back in the back. We weren't gonna get up there unless we wrecked somebody. So I figured I'd just ride that high side and see if I could get anybody to push me up there, and maybe in hopes to slow that middle lane down and help D Wright get locked in, because he was the first car on the inside line there being pushed by Devin. But yeah, that was definitely the plan. One of the neon drivers won it. Shout out to Devin for winning it. Yeah, man, it was definitely a plan to get one of us locked in tonight. So.
Well, awesome job here tonight, getting exactly that done. And before I let you go, I know you're disappointed for not winning, but anyone you want to thank, any shots you got to give here tonight?
Hey, brother, man, like, you come out of here with a P2, but there's nothing to be disappointed about, let me tell you. Like, we were joking around before the race, man. These things don't come easy, and a P2 is definitely a good place to finish. It does suck not to win it, but I'll take P2 over dead last or a crumpled up car any day of the week. But yeah, man, shout out to Dev Sports Cards. Had them on the truck tonight. Tried to put them in victory lane. Won the stage with them. That was pretty cool. So shout out to Dev Sports Cards. Check him out on eBay. Christmas is coming up. It's never too soon to start that Christmas shopping. Head on over to eBay. Check out at Dev Sports Cards and get some of that Christmas shopping done early for Dad or any of the sports fans in your family. Shout out to Morris Customs. Pretty sweet paint jobs. Intensity Broadcasting. Appreciate you guys, broadcasting our races so we can go back and watch and learn and see what we're doing. Everybody that allows me to do this, shout out to my teammate. Joe, he wasn't able to be here tonight. Shout out to him. He's usually a pretty good guy at these. We would have had 5 trucks up there instead of 4. I guarantee it. Hopefully he'll be back with us tomorrow. D Wright, like I said, man, hate it for him. He had this thing won twice. Shout out to him. Shout out to Junior. Shout out to Dev. Congrats for winning. And yeah, man, I think that's it.
Again, awesome job here tonight. I know you can't be too disappointed with a second place finish, and good luck next week. Try and lock yourself into Phoenix.
Yes, sir.
Have a great night.
You too, brother.
So that was your second place finisher, Eddie Morris. And let's talk to our winner here tonight. Driver to 68 Dev Sports Cards Machine, Devin Butch. Now, Devin, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, brother.
Man, what a run for you here tonight. I know these super speedway races are either feast or famine for you. And tonight it was the feast as you were able to come home with the victory. I know you're trying to push one of your teammates to the win here tonight. And now you've locked yourself into Phoenix. Talk us about your race, especially that last lap there.
Yeah, I always joke. I mean, a points restrictor plate race is the only thing I haven't been able to win in the SCSRA, so it's pretty cool being able to win it. But I'm sick for D, man. D, he had the best truck all race. He was, I feel like we had it made. That outside broke up a ton coming back around to the white, and the way I'd saved enough pushing wise to where I could have stayed glued to him in the last lap. We got the caution. He had to pit, and he still came flying through again. And I got a vague idea of what happened coming through the trial. Well, me and Eddie got disconnected. Him and Junior were locked. I don't know if Junior was trying to stop Blaze's momentum, but we weren't going to get D by the time the line came. He's not here next week, so he was going to punch his ticket to the Final Four. So I'm sick for him, man. It's not the way I want to win one of these things. He's been here a long time. He deserves to get one, and had it taken away from him twice. It's no one's fault. It's just Talladega racing. You know how that goes, Josh.
I do. I absolutely do. And it's one of those things where, you're either the windshield or the bug, and tonight he seemed to be the bug. But, man, what a great race just overall. The whole league, we only had that one caution for incident, and right there at the end, setting up that green-white checker. When that yellow came out to set up the green-white checker, what was your thoughts on that? Because I know D-Wright went down pit road. I imagine he was probably a little short on fuel because of the being out in front all race long. So what was the idea coming to the line there to try to get yourself in position, or maybe get one of your teammates locked in next week as well?
Yeah, when the caution came out, D immediately said he was short, said he had like 1.7 laps left, so he was going to have to pit. So I went right to the black box, and I was checking to see if I had anyone in third or fourth. We had Eddie in third. Counted on the restart. Still got way too much of a jump on those guys. I think Blaze had me cleared into 3. Coming back with 2 to go, but Eddie got connected to me, and I know there's a big wreck in 1 and 2. I didn't see what happened, but then it was pretty awesome, man. The Neon guys worked really well together at one point. I think it was going down the back. We were 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 sets of 2 pushing each other tandem. So that's pretty sweet, man. Had a blast racing with these guys. Just was hoping more of the Neon guys could come away with it. I'm glad we were able to do so. We executed really well today on green flag pit stops. I know Junior had a hiccup on the first one, but it seems like even when we were separated a bit, we still found our way for the pit stops, and we just did good job working with each other. I was rooting for any one of us to get into victory lane today, and it just happened to be us somehow.
Yeah, I don't know if you realize it or not, but that last yellow really saved you guys' race, because the Venom boys were coming quickly behind you. I don't know if you had eyes on them in the relative or not.
I didn't, but they were quick all day, man. When they got nose to tail, I mean, they were on the outside of us at one point. John and Rich, they were pretty quick, and it just comes down to power and numbers here. We had 4 guys. I want to say they had 4. I think it was 4. So yeah, Talladega comes down to teammates. You can't win this one by yourself. So it would have been interesting for sure.
Yeah, they only had 3 trucks. They came out of pit road about 7.5 seconds behind the field, and when that caution came out, they were 1.8 behind you with 3 laps to go.
That would have been close.
That would have been wild, yeah. But man, congrats on the win. Before I let you go, Dev, anyone you want to thank? Any shots you got to give here tonight?
I want to thank you, Josh, for doing this on your Tuesdays for us. We really appreciate it. You do a great job. Shout out my parents. It's mine and my dad's favorite track, so it's going to be a fun one watching this with him. He loves watching the broadcasts with you guys the next day, so shout out my mom and dad. My girlfriend, Kaylee, puts up with me doing this. She loves watching it, too. She watches it every night. Shout out to Dev Sports Cards, Morris Customs, McKinleyville Barbershop, New Craft Fine Jewelry and Design, And just the whole Neon team, man. We work really well together. I think, a lot of guys are having career years on this team where we work really well with each other, giving this information and that information. And, just thanks again, Josh. I appreciate it. I'm happy. I'm excited to race with you out here tomorrow night. Think you got a shot? Let me ask you. You think you got a shot tomorrow night?
I do. I always feel like I have a shot at Talladega and Daytona. You know that. And, especially watching Cheeseburger make some mistakes tonight and learn from them. I think we have a shot tomorrow night to do something. So I'm looking forward to it as well. So going to put me on the spotlight like that. I like that.
Yeah, I'm grabbing the mic. How's it feel?
Were you turning into Parker Kligerman now?
I'll take it. He has a little more hair than I do, so maybe I'll have to be like Todd Bodine back at the race hub or something.
There you go. Well, again, congrats, Devin, and good luck tomorrow night, and I'll be looking forward to racing with you on track tomorrow.
You as well, brother. I appreciate it.
Have a great night.
You too, man. Thank you.
So that was your race winner, Devin Butch. Now throwing me on the spot. I like it. As don't forget to tune in tomorrow night as the Dev Sports Cards Next Gen Series. I had to think about that for a second. Dev Sports Cards Next Gen Series also takes on Talladega for their first race of the round of 8. I know I'm personally out of the playoffs, but hopefully I can be a little spoiler tomorrow night, or one of the other drivers as well. So tune in tomorrow night right here. I'm sorry, not here. Tune in at NOMA as they will have the call tomorrow night right here at Talladega Superspeedway. That's going to do it for us here tonight on Intensity Broadcasting. Again, thank you for joining us, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, or on Kick. We do appreciate you tuning in tonight. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. Don't forget to check out our great partners listed down below in the description, including Dev Sports Cards, Morris Customs, Race EPI for all your iRacing setups and coaching needs, the Butt Kicker for all your gaming haptic needs. Of course, our website over at intensitybroadcasting.com. Check out our website, pick up some sweet merch. That's going to do it for us here tonight. Again, congrats to Devin Butchino on his win, as our boy Ali Atman Weiss would say. Over